Thank you so much to the entire Wake Forest community, the students who put this amazing conference together, the administration, and the overall TED and TEDx networks for just continuing to inspire us with hundreds of talks, hundreds of speakers, and just really amazing stories. I'm just one of the 5 or 6 amazing speakers that you're going to hear tonight. Excited to kick this off, and let's get right into it. Black Girl, White Ice. You guys like the title? I was very proud of it. So yes, my name is Florence, Flo Ngala. I am from Harlem, New York, by way of West Africa. My parents came to this country similar to most immigrant stories with a dollar and a dream. The American dream for us looked a little different, and I'm going to essentially walk you through my journey as a young figure skater turned celebrity photographer. Meet the Ngalas. So as you can see on the left here, my dad and my siblings and I are all just happy to be at Home Depot. This was like our family thing. Renovations was a really big part of the upbringing that we grew up around. My dad was super hands-on with our family home and just kind of trying to really build a life for us and for himself that he was super proud of. On the right, you'll see my mom, who is amazing and here tonight. Basically just a hardworking woman who started a business with my dad in Harlem, New York, for beauty supply, hair needs, calling card center, basically a one-stop shop in Harlem. It was incredibly impactful to my upbringing to grow up around entrepreneurs and just the overall Harlem community that inspired me super, super greatly. In 2008, tragedy struck. I woke up on June 18th to the sound of my mom wailing in the middle of the night. I had 2 aunts visiting me at the time. One was my dad's sister, and the other was my mom's sister. At about 13 years old, I racked my brain around who could possibly be someone connected to my dad's side and my mom's side that would have both of them equally frustrated, sad. A few family members crossed my mind as I went down the list, and then the one hit me, my dad. On June 18, 2008, I woke up to the sounds of my mom screaming because my father had passed away. This was single-handedly the most traumatic experience of my life. It shook the trajectory of our entire family experience. The man, the father figure that we all knew and loved was gone. And not only that, but he had passed away overseas when he had finally got the chance to go back home after all those years and reinvest in his community and reinvest into our family's future. This photo of my mom is really special to me because it was taken years ago as a young photography student. And I love it so much because not only does it really show the determination and focus that was necessary for a single widowed mother of 4 children to survive, but it also just shows the beauty of photography and the beauty of capturing the essence of a moment. I went on to change that sliver of hope into a silver print. Anyone here familiar with black and white photography? Darkroom printing. So you're probably familiar with a gelatin silver print, which is a medium that we use in the darkroom. Essentially, you're physically sharpening the grain, focusing the image, and really getting hands-on, dealing with different elements like stop, bath, photo flow, developer. I would leave my photography high school darkroom smelling like chemicals and running to class, but it was sort of cool because I found something that I loved, literally found the light after such a dark time, and found the light in a dark room. Photography, obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but photography takes development in a dark room and very specific chemical concoctions to get final photos. And as you can see behind me, some of these photos that were taken by young me represented the scenes and the environments that I was around, both in Harlem as a community and at home. On the bottom left there, I love that image of my sister, who's also here, with the Obama hat on, because I feel like it really spoke to the time, 2008, 2007, when the Obama era was up and running. The photo of my brother on the bottom right, I love because it just, again, spoke to a young photographer just curious and learning about photography. This is not me, but it could be, just kidding. This is Surya Bonale, who is a famous and very iconic French national and international champion. I think that one of the things I loved the most as a young figure skater turned photographer was knowing that there was a woman of color who represented fearlessness, sharpness, and she was so exhilarating and exciting to watch. I really implore all of you to go and look into her if you haven't, not only because it's Black History Month, but also it's also the Olympic year, and she's just an icon that we should all know about. I love this image because I think that transitioning from being a young, excited figure skater into an adolescent photographer started to help me realize that there were a few things that were similar to both of these hobbies. One of them being focus, literally to go up in the air, turn a few times around and land isn't exactly easy. And similarly, to get a shot right and to get a shot precisely, there was focus and precision that was necessary. Here's another image of an awesome and iconic figure skater named Rory Flack, who was known for these incredible split jumps that she would do in the air. And I felt like these two images were so important to show and kind of where I'm transitioning this talk into. Again, I did not take these photos, but I am so grateful to the women and the photographers and artists that are behind the figure skating photography that's documented here, especially because it is very rare still to see Black women in figure skating. The focus, precision, practice, and practice, and practice, and practice, and practice helped sharpen my technique in the 12 years that I participated in figure skating. I went up to a jump called a double axel, and from ages 6 to 18, I participated in a program called Figure Skating in Harlem. When my dad was alive, him and my mom were very adamant on taking me to rinks like Chelsea Piers or Riverbank State Park, Woolman Rink or Lasker Rink, Bryant Park as well, just to get a chance at more ice time. Figure skating is a very expensive sport, and due to the economic realities of a lot of women of color, it is not even a sport that is introduced to a lot of our communities. And so being able to be part of that nonprofit organization definitely entered my life in a very special way because it exposed me to something that I didn't even realize I could fall in love with. In addition to that practice, there was, of course, more practice. On the left, you see a move I'm completing there called a layback spin, and that was in one of my skating performances to Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. And on the right, you'll see an image of me practicing my shots, right? Practicing my photos. This was taken in my, bedroom. But little did I know that something special was happening as I continued to practice and practice and practice, landing the shot, landing the image, getting the timing, getting the composition, showing the emotion and the essence of good photography. With photography and with skating, it's kind of funny how you practice and practice so that you can leap and land. January 6, 2019, New York Times cover. You'll see a photo on the bottom there taken by a young Flo who was so excited to just get the chance to work with the Times, and the full circle moment of a lifetime when I got to photograph the same young figure skaters that I remembered being way smaller, now years later grown up and representing the same program I was part of, skating on the same ice, literally in the same steps that I got to walk in. This was an assignment of a lifetime. Here, I love this image, which shows a group of the younger division of skaters competing at a national competition. This was so exciting to me to include specifically for the reality of life, right? We can all relate to practicing and practicing and practicing to show up, to be on stage, to be amidst audiences, to be watched, to be comfortable, and to perform as well as to do our best and to represent who we are and where we're from. So, what did that teach me? Practice didn't exactly make perfect, but practice made perseverance. In trying and failing, going up and falling, over and over, repeating the same jumps, repeating the same moves, being told by coaches to do it again and again and again, I really found that for me, even though perfect wasn't exactly a thing, right? You can do a jump many times, you can land it many times. It doesn't mean that you'll never fall again, but to continue to persevere for those medals, to continue to persevere to be a better skater. And specifically, the way that ice allowed me to persevere was something that was a beautiful overlap. So here you'll see on the left, 6-year-old me in photos taken by my dad at the first figure skating show that I was part of for figure skating in Harlem. It was called Disco Divas on Ice, and I was very proud of my performance and the outfit. On the right, you'll see a photo taken almost 20 years later for the New York Times by me at that same rink of these amazing ice skaters and young women who are gonna honestly go on to change the world. And shameless plug, the first ice skating team started at a HBCU, which if you don't know is a historically black college or university, was actually started by an alum of this organization just last year. So definitely also something to look into. Thinking of practicing and persevering, thinking about photography and the black and white of it all, I really wanted to lead these next few photos that are all images I've taken and had the privilege of capturing with Simone Biles. On this day, it was about 100 degrees in Dallas, Texas. I was taking photos for a brand called Athleta, and similar to some of the jobs I've gotten to do in the few years I've been doing photography, I was on set and tasked with getting a shot amidst a video set also happening, amidst Simone Biles also having to do things that Simone Biles has to do. And there were a bunch of awesome young women who were part of the scene, part of the set that day, who were surprised because part of the script was that Simone Biles was going to come out and surprise them, and they got to all play games. It was a really beautiful, beautiful afternoon. But this last shot of the day was taken right before she had to leave, and I thought that something about the perseverance and the practice, even Simone making a return to gymnastics, which has been so incredible to watch, was a really great photo to share with you all. Cardi B is also someone who's, to me, exemplified that practice and perseverance. If you don't know her story, it's definitely an inspiring one. Someone who's also from New York City, uptown, who got a shot at fame, reality TV show star turned superstar, really. And at 22 years old, I got the chance to work with her after a music executive came across my work and started to invite me onto set with her to take her BTS photos. BTS means behind the scenes photography. Her behind the scenes photography, the Met Gala when she went for the first time and was pregnant with her first daughter. Her second Met Gala, I also got to photograph her getting ready, and she wore this amazing red dress, which you'll see at the end of my presentation. And then just so many moments, her on set of countless videos, her and Howard Stern meeting for the first time, her and Bruno Mars having an interactions on their sets and the different music videos that she would do. And so just this image to me represents, again, that shot, right, that we all get, that one shot that we can take and change our lives. And additionally, I thought that the video camera was a really nice addition here because it really shows that from just doing behind the scenes photography for her and capturing these video moments and behind the scenes moments on set, this really set the precedent for turning my life from just behind the scenes photography into full-time commercial and editorial work. And I'm super thankful to Cardi for that, so shout out to Cardi B. Before the celebrities or any of the kind of awesome commissions I get to do, home, of course, was always where the heart is. And so Dorothy might say we're not in Kansas anymore, and clearly I'm not in Harlem anymore, but it lives in my heart very dearly. This photo was taken at a parade that we have called the African American Day Parade, and it's super exciting because young people line up and, you know, they've practiced for months, they're with their coaches, their family is waiting for them to pass by in the parade. And again, with the street photography, the documentary photography, the photojournalism heart that I always had for photography, these kinds of images spoke so much to me because I got to observe people, watch people, and let them be themselves while I got to be a fly on the wall, or a Flo on the wall, as I like to cornily put it. Observing people, again, started in Harlem, but it got me a few places, like the Met Gala, as so beautifully said in the introduction. I had the privilege, the immense privilege of being asked by Vogue to attend and photograph inside the Met Gala in 2022. I was invited back again last year in 2023, and so the picture you see behind here, do you guys recognize these people at all? Anyone know? Everyone's phones are coming out, I love it. But this photo, obviously the the dynasty that is the Kardashian family. You see the big sis there in the middle, Miss Kim Kardashian, and then Kylie to our right, her left, and then Kendall right behind her. Can't see her as much in this cropping, but that is the legend, Erykah Badu, in the corner, just like throwing something in the trash. And people always ask the story behind this moment, and genuinely they were having a sister moment, helping each other fix their dresses in the back. And I got a little tip from the security guard that, hey, like you might want to stick around, there's some cool people in the restroom. And again, part of what I love about my job and observing people is sometimes you can wait for the moment, sometimes you can speak up about the moment, but the practice and the perseverance is what set me up to ask someone like Kim Kardashian to pose for a photo, or ask someone like Erykah Badu to take a photo for me in the bathroom. So definitely encourage you all to go on Vogue.com. If you just look up the official inside the Met Gala for 2023, this ended up being the lead image for the overall gallery, which was really awesome and huge for me. And in conclusion, we're all practicing, all getting ready, all, whether it's in the bathroom, whether it's in our bedrooms, wherever it is. It's the idea of the prep and the practice to arrive, right? I'm literally standing on a red carpet right now, which is pretty ironic, but I think that this image to me felt so symbolic of the idea of the world stage, right? We all know the Cardi B story, and if you don't, I definitely encourage you to look it up. But this image to me represents, people watching, her front and her back. She's definitely watching her back. Sometimes, you'll need someone to help with your outfit. Sometimes you'll need someone to help with your hair and your makeup. There are lots of things that go into these huge nights, these big moments. But the idea that you can practice and you can persevere and you can arrive and you can show up on the red carpet, to me, is really what life's about. Thank you so much.